right, welcome back to another After Dark, everyone. Hope you all are having a good night so far. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. This Johnny Arnett video popped up on my feed, and then I also got a couple of members requests to check this out. So yeah, I've been wanting to check this video out from Arnett. This one is titled "When You Must Root for the Bad Guys," and I can see this going a plethora of different ways. And I think I'm gonna like it because we've all been in a position where, like, I'm trying to think of an immediate example. Okay, I got one. San Antonio, huge rivals in the West with my sons. Like, we hated the Lakers, we hated the Spurs even worse during this 2000s era, right? Then we get to a point where it's 2014, was it? Yeah, 2014. We got the Big Three Miami team going against San Antonio. You all know I was rooting for the Spurs. Like, I'm always going to be rooting against a team that basically just, like, has a cheat code, you know, and they fixed the game. So I was rooting so hard against Miami, but it was so difficult. The irony is during that time, I formed a huge respect for San Antonio. I already had it, but cheering for them for once was like, dude, this is a great team. You know, like, what a great operation in here. Anyways, there's just one quick example. Guys, I'm going to link the original Johnny Arnett video down below in the description, like I always do. There you'll see a list of channel members. Shout out channel members. I appreciate you all. Guys, without further ado, let's enjoy this one. Like the vid, I'd appreciate it. Go check out Johnny's channel. It's great, except for this intro, which is, I'm just kidding. It's a sick ass intro. Look at a bounce.
So today's video is kind of an interesting topic, and I gotta be real with you guys. Every once in a while, I like to make a video that's more conversational, that's more relational. Sometimes I don't just want to give this big ol' lesson, telling you guys unique information or telling you how to think about basketball.
I like it.
But sometimes I like to just throw out a unique idea or a unique way of thinking about the game of basketball and getting you guys to dialogue with me in the comments section. The reason why is because we really have something unique in this corner of the internet. I really think almost everybody who subscribed to my channel is a basketball superfan.
Absolutely.
This is a highly concentrated community of some real hardcore hoop heads. So sometimes it's just fun to hear your guys' thoughts as well. So let me get into my next point. As many of you know on this channel, I am a Lakers fan, and I have been my entire life.
Yep.
And sometimes that fact does get pretty annoying on this channel. I do talk about the Lakers more than any other team on this channel.
As you should. I talk about the Suns all the time.
I kind of feel
it's who you are, dude. It's who you are. So I'm glad you are who you are. Absolutely. Don't be someone else. Be you.
Like, that's just normal. I'm sorry. I'm a fan. I know more about them than literally any other organization.
For sure.
It just is what it is. So obviously, from my highly biased perspective, I see my team as the good guys. And I'm sure all of you guys see your team as the good guys.
Of course.
But every once in a while...
Yep, that's why I hate your team. It's exactly why. Because we're rivals. Well, I mean, I'd call us rivals. It's not really fair because you own that rivalry. We hate you guys.
Something unique or weird happens in the National Basketball Association. And now you're rooting for someone else. You're rooting for, quote, the bad guys. I have 3 very specific instances in the history of my basketball fandom where I was passionately rooting for someone other than my Lakers.
Okay.
So I'm going to get into those, but please, let me know in the comment section below who you're a fan of and what was an instance where you were rooting for someone else. First off, I was rooting for the Dallas Mavericks in the 2006 NBA Finals.
Ooh, I was doing the opposite. I kind of thought about this one, though. Because if I was rooting for Dallas, then I totally would, because Dallas was another one. Like, the West was so stacked during that period between the Lakers, the Suns, the Spurs, the Mavs. Like, and then we had, sleeper teams like Denver in there. And anyways,
You'll remember
Utah.
that Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks made it all the way to the NBA Finals in 2006, where they famously ran into Dwayne Wade and Shaquille O'Neal of the Miami Heat.
I want to explain it real quick, though. There's a reason. Okay, back then I was a Kobe Bryant hater, right? D. Wade was my favorite player in the league outside of Steve Nash, but like honestly, like I thought D. Wade was the best player in the league at this point. I love Dirk, don't get me wrong, but I wanted this one because I like D. Wade a lot. Two, it's so messed up. This is just how fandom is, though. If Shaq won a championship without Kobe, then that's like a screw you to Kobe, right? And that's literally what it represented, even with them. But that's how I felt at the time, because I did not like Kobe back then. You know, it took a couple of years, about like 2005, 2006, until I really started liking Kobe. But yeah, back then, that's why I became a bandwagon Miami Heat fan for a little while there.
The Lakers had been eliminated out of the first round of the playoffs by the Phoenix Suns, so obviously they hadn't been a part of this equation for quite a while at this point, regardless of the fact that Kobe had an incredible individual season as he averaged 35 points and was first-team All-Defense. With that being said, the Shaq and Kobe split was still fresh in our memories. And although I love Shaq for what he did in Los Angeles, to say his split was ugly with the organization would be a monumental understatement.
It makes sense to me why you would eternally root against Shaq. Yeah, for sure.
For a while, Shaq suddenly became public enemy number one.
Yeah.
And that meant whoever was going against him was suddenly my favorite team. This was the case for the Mavericks in 2006, as they got off to a 2-0 lead to start the series. But obviously, you know how it all went. Dwayne Wade was absolutely incredible, as he put on one of the greatest finals performances of all time. So yeah, unfortunately this one ended in disappointment, and even I was wondering whether or not Kobe would ever catch up to Shaq in championship rings.
I did too.
Now here's the interesting thing. The second time I was rooting for someone other than the Lakers, it was again the Dallas Mavericks, this time...
All right. This time in 2011, I'm right there with you. And it was hard because I was such a big Dwayne Wade fan, but I was so... honestly, at this point, I absolutely hated LeBron for this move, and I like LeBron up until this point, as you guys know. But I hated LeBron so much for taking the helicopter to the top of the mountain the way he did. Like, they were on the verge of winning in Cleveland. Just stick it out and win. But he had to use the cheat code. I 100% was rooting against the Miami Heat. Like, Dirk, all of a sudden, Dirk's my favorite player. Jason Kidd, like, I'm like, oh, man, we got to get you a championship. You had the Matrix in there and Sean Marion. I'm like, we got to get you a championship. And I didn't believe for a second they can do it. But they sure did. That was the greatest series of LeBron's career here.
In 2011. After LeBron's decision, I hated this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody was debating whether or not Kobe...
He's doing it again, by the way. Like, 15 years later, he's still doing it. Still waiting on, whoa, where will LeBron play next? Blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? I'm over it, dude. It's like being in a relationship and your girl, like, every year is like, I'm divorcing you. It's like, what? Or actually, she's like, I might divorce you or I might not. I haven't decided yet. You know, after 15 years, you might be like, you know what? I'll make the decision for you. We out.
Here, LeBron was the best player in the NBA at this point in time. But in my mind, he basically just took the easy road by joining Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami.
Yep.
Not only that, but the Dallas Mavericks had swept my Lakers out of the NBA playoffs. So if Kobe just got swept, and then LeBron went on to beat this Mavericks team, that would make it feel even more painful, because then some people can make the argument that LeBron was able to do what Kobe couldn't.
That's true.
I was also still a little bit bitter that LeBron didn't join the New York Knicks after flirting with that organization for so long, and low-key, I wanted the Knicks to be relevant again, but instead, I was having to root against the Heat once again. This time, I actually got my wish, as Dirk Nowitzki stepped up and completed one of the most impressive championship runs of all time.
Agreed.
As they upset the super team Miami.
Hey, don't forget JJ Barrera and Jason Terry. And everybody else, obviously. But I like to point those two out because, man, they took out the head of Miami.
Heat. What I think is really funny about this instance is, as a Lakers fan, I was definitely rooting for the Mavericks in this point in time. But I've heard that some fellow Laker fans were actually rooting for the Heat due to the fact that the Dallas Mavericks had just swept us. At the end of the day, I guess it's all about perspective.
It is.
The third instance where I was passionately rooting for someone other than my Lakers was when I was rooting for LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2016. Now, some of you are going to be surprised by this, because in my last instance, I was definitely rooting against LeBron. So how had I turned around in just a matter of 5 years?
Let me guess, because I know a lot of people that when he went back to Cleveland, they thought that he changed. So they started supporting him again. But then they found out a couple years later when he just ditched him again for LA. But I'm willing to bet that's your angle here, Johnny. Like, you thought, like, okay, he returned home, he's good again.
Well, I thought it would be a cool storybook ending for LeBron to finally bring a championship to Cleveland. But there's a lot more personal context here.
Okay.
At this point in my life, I was living in the San Francisco Bay Area. All my friends at church, basketball group, everywhere I went was Golden State Warriors fans, who were constantly gloating about the fact that they had the back-to-back MVP winner and had a 73-9 season, while my Lakers were experiencing their worst season in franchise history.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
In Kobe's farewell season, the Lakers finished with a 17-65 record. Whenever I'd wear my Lakers gear, whether I was at work doing construction or I was hanging out with my friends, I was always getting teased for how much my team sucked and for how much better their Warriors were.
Oh, jeez.
So, when the 2016 finals came along, I had a lot of bitterness towards those Bay Area fans. And when the opportunity arose for them to blow a 3-1 lead, no one was more excited than I was. To this day, their misery at the end of Game 7 gives me complete joy. And it's funny because I think a lot of people would assume that I was rooting against LeBron in this instance. But outside of Cleveland, I might have been the happiest person alive due to the fact that he won.
Wow.
So again, let me know in the comment section who your favorite team is and what was a weird situation where you had to root for someone else. I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
See you guys, that's why you need to be subscribed to Johnny's channel. Real quick before it leaves my memory, first off, great video, but you sparked something in me. I remember two more instances now where I was rooting for the enemy, quote unquote. Okay, in the 1990s, the Phoenix Suns and the Houston Rockets, big time rivalry, you guys. Houston, like, I hated Houston. I hated Houston growing up, even though I loved Hakeem Olajuwon. Make it make sense, but it's just because so many disappointments in the playoffs due to the Houston Rockets. Like, there was a huge hatred here in Arizona for those Rockets, okay? So here's the deal. I found myself, like, once we were out of the mix and there was no Jordan at the end of the line, right? This is when Jordan was retired playing baseball. So there's no Bulls. It's going against the Knicks, right? And I'm so sorry. Chae, my bad, dude. Forgive me for this. I hated the Knicks too, okay? So I hated the Rockets because of my Suns. I hated the Knicks because of the Bulls. So these are two big rivalries, right? So in my mind, who do I like the most on an individual level now? And it became Hakeem Olajuwon. So in that series, I was rooting 100% for Hakeem to win a championship now that Jordan is retired and we didn't know he was coming back. All right? Now, fast forward to the next year. Jordan, so messed up. And it goes against, like, a lot of my fandom too. Okay, so the next year, Jordan comes back out of retirement for like 18 games or whatever. They lose in the playoffs to who? The Orlando Magic, right? I am pissed. All right. The thing is I like Penny Hardaway is probably my second favorite player at this point. But guess who's still my favorite now that he's back? MJ. What did they just do to MJ? They just beat him in the playoffs. Who are they going against in the finals? We're going against Houston again. So for me, even though I loved Penny, I was pissed. You know, I was pissed off at what they did to Jordan. And there I was again, rooting for Hakeem Olajuwon, and they won again. So those are two situations I gotta say where you gotta like let go of the hatred for like the greater good or whatever it is, even though it's in our own brains. To us, it's like it's the greater good. Screw those guys. They don't deserve a championship. And in hindsight, I felt kind of bad because it would have been great if Penny would have won a championship, but I thought that was just the beginning of his career, while Hakeem's career was starting to wind down at this point. You know, he still had plenty of years, but you know what I mean. He's at his prime, and he's gonna fade out of his prime from here. So yeah, I rooted there, and it's funny because. Yeah, man, I was such a huge Penny fan. But anyways, you guys, it's just a couple of situations I can think of off the top of my head. This is a fun video, and yeah, I think it's a good idea to do some videos like this too that'll spark the conversation. So, Johnny, if you're watching, shout out, man. It's good to see you doing good. I'm out of here, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave some of yours down below as well, and go check out Johnny's video as well. But I'm curious what you guys have to say, because that's all I can think of on the top of my head. But I'm sure I'm gonna think of some other stuff, you know, later on. Anyways, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your night. Be good to your people. Tell your loved ones you love them. And most importantly, carpe diem. Seize the day. Gather your rosebuds while you may. And be water, my friends.